Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 18 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. I am using a new QR code team just for probably an episode or two. This is a team built by a player called Ben Grissmer, who used to get top 32 at the North American International Championships and also got day 2 with the team. It's a really fun kind of trick room hybrid team revolving around Abomasnow, Arachnophobia, and Porygon, and it's got some really fun tricks up its sleeve, especially with the Braviary, which is a Pokemon that I think definitely has been a little bit underused, and I'd like to explore a little bit more. So you can check out the team. It's a QR code team linked in the description below, as well as Ben's Twitter. We're going to get this episode started right away with an opponent running also a Porygon, so didn't expect to see that. Porygon, Feeny, Kartana, Mudsdale, Incineroar, and Manectric. Almost looks like a VGC 17 team. Although I suppose Ben's team also kind of looks like a 17 team. So let's see how I want to approach this. Abomasnow and Arachnoid are going to be really important. I'm going to have to play around those two properly. I think I'm going to go with the typical 4 that I played with this team just a little bit, and I feel like Incineroar Porygon is typically the go-to just because I pressure with Fake Out, and then Arachnoid and Abomasnow in the back. Coco, not that great against my opponent's team when there is a Manectric which can choose not to Mega Evolve to conserve the Lightning Rod. And a Mudsdale, which can just one-shot me. Braviary, also not the best when there is specifically the Manectric. Although, I think we could actually make a decent argument for Braviary. It's something where in a best of 3 I could see myself bringing it. But, yeah, we're going to get into this episode. Apologies that I've been gone for a while. I was traveling the last 2 weekends, and it's actually my last week here out in LA. I'm wrapping up my internship this week, and then I'm moving back to New York. So, yeah, times have been definitely a little bit hectic. And Worlds is obviously coming up, so I'm really excited for that. But at this point, I'm really just excited for the brand new season where I'll be competing more and the new rule set as well. But as always, I'll continue to make content until then. So it's going to be Manectric and Feeny here as the lead for my opponent. So a pretty free opportunity to just fake out Feeny Trick Room and then maybe switch out Incineroar next turn into a Abomasnow. Now, I do actually have Thunderbolt on this Porygon as well, which can help out a lot against this Feeny specifically, should Manectric choose to Mega Evolve. And, yeah. You would think maybe Manectric's going to want to Mega Evolve here. Definitely going to fake out Feeny, though, just because a lot of Feenys now do carry the Watarium Z move. Don't want to risk that. Get some chip damage off. Manectric really can't do much other than maybe Snarl or go for a Volt Switch. But that's not too much of a threat. Mega Manectric's interesting because it doesn't hit too hard. You want to use it more for utility where you Volt Switch to get Intimidates, cycle back in and out, and then Snarls as well. But against a team like this, I think it's not too much of a concern. Now, I do have to worry about a potential Fire-type attack, though. That can put in a lot of pressure against Abomasnow. And Thunderbolt does a lot to Arachnoid, or Electric-type attacks in general. So I still have to be careful. But I'm not too concerned about it overall. And it is going to Mega Evolve, which means now I can hit Feeny with Thunderbolt, which is good. So we'll see what it goes for. Maybe it has Snarl. Maybe it just goes for damage off. We shall see. Either way, I should get Trick Room up here relatively safely, though, which will be good for me. So it's Fake Out. And it's going to be a Volt Switch. Yep, that's fine. The reason why I'm okay with that is because I know Manectric can't carry an item. Feeny, obviously, if it has the Z move, I can't knock that off. So I'd like to be able to get rid of an item or two with the Incineroar if possible. So we'll see what comes in. Maybe my opponent's Incineroar could see that. It's actually going to be Porygon, which I'm actually even more pleased to see because that's knocking off that Porygon can be a big deal here for me. So I will get Trick Room off, and this next turn it's a pretty safe play of just Thunderbolt, Feeny, and knockoff. I'm willing to trade Incineroar for Porygon's Eviolite. Which is why I don't feel the pressure to really switch out right now. Because otherwise my damage output against Porygon is actually kind of shady. I don't have ways to hit it for super effective. I'm kind of just chipping away at it. And, Abomasnow's Blizzard, Arachnoid's Liquidation / Z move does a lot, but Porygon can heal it back up. So if I get rid of the Eviolite, that takes care of a lot more of what I'm worried about. And if Feeny doesn't have the Z move, then Incineroar won't even faint here, which would be great. But I actually wouldn't mind Feeny Z moving, because then I'd get a free switch into something like Abomasnow. The only question is, Porygon here might want to reverse my Trick Room, but Feeny's actually going to have to switch out, which is not what I anticipated, back out into Manectric. So, this is both good and bad. Good because I will keep my Incineroar around, but now I'm at -2 attack, so I'm really not doing much damage. So this turn is basically a little bit of chip on everything, right? A little bit of chip onto the Manectric, get rid of Porygon's Eviolite, which is more important. Overall, I'd say still a net positive turn. As, yeah, Porygon's just going to reverse the Trick Room. But that's okay with me. Because I've gotten rid of the Eviolite and I've gotten chip damage across the board at this point. So I'm at -2, but Incineroar should still be able to do some pretty decent damage here. So I'm actually going to just Flare Blitz the Manectric and Thunderbolt it. Yeah. At this point, I'm not really worried about Porygon. And Manectric, like I said, does threaten potentially the Abomasnow with a one-shot if it's carrying a Fire-type attack. So I still want to aggressively target it down. It could Volt Switch out maybe back into Feeny, but then Feeny would take some chip damage. And it's actually going to just Hard Switch out instead of Volt Switching, which is interesting. It's going to be Mudsdale coming out as my opponent's last one. So we do know all of my opponent's Pokemon at this point. Porygon's actually going to swap out as well. So kind of a slow start to the game with a lot of switches left and right, but I'm okay with that. I will give Mudsdale an attack increase though. So nice switch out there. Really not doing too much. Stamina. We'll give it a defense increase. Sorry, not attack increase, defense. Still okay with me here though, honestly. Gonna swap out a Arachnoid into Incineroar. That seems pretty safe. And I think I will want a Trick Room here still. Yeah. So it's been kind of an annoying game. Just you can see the utility of Manectric cycling Intimidates, really reducing my damage output. It's gonna be a Z move. I think that is a water Z move. Yep. Wait. Is that the water Z move? That is, right? The animation looked weird for a second. I think that is. Okay. So I should be going out into Incineroar. I mean, even if it targets Porygon, that's fine. Yep, so Arachnoid takes that. Should take this pretty easily. Arachnoid's quite bulky. Yeah, that did 45 damage. Nice. It's going to be a Heavy Slam coming out from the Mudsdale. It really feels like VGC 17 right now with all the Pokemon on the field. And Trick Room will go up. So now I want to take care of this Mudsdale, if anything. I think I'm going to go for the Z move here into it. I'm worried about a Rock-type attack, so to play it safe, I'm actually going to swap out into Incineroar. Because if I take care of the Mudsdale, I mean, that's the main threat under Trick Room that I've been worried about. Muddy Water isn't going to be doing too much. My opponent might just opt to Moonblast as well. Just want to guarantee that Intimidate off here, which is the main reason I'm switching out. So let's see. Yep, he is going to Rock Slide. As long as it doesn't flinch, I should be good here. Hopefully no flinch. Okay, nice. That's really big for me. I'll get the knockout here now into Mudsdale, which kind of is just annoying to play against with my whole team. Feeny probably goes for Muddy Water, but that's okay with me. We know it has the Z move, so no way to heal with the berry or lefties. So I can slowly chip away at it. Like, Porygon can 1v1 against the Feeny easily with Thunderbolt. I guess if it has Calm Mind, maybe not. But we'll have to see if it has it or not. A lot of Z ones won't carry Calm Mind. And he has actually going to up to Moonblast into Arachnoid probably. Yep. But I'll take that trade. Because now Mega Abomasnow actually finally is able to come in a really good time, actually. And I have Fake Out Pressure with Incineroar. So it's been kind of a long, drawn-out game, but I've been pretty okay with it for the most part, honestly. Feel like it's gone decently. Would have been nicer to take care of the Manectric sooner than later, though, because I am still worried about a potential fire attack from it. Safest play here is to probably fake out the Manectric and just Energy Ball Feeny. Let's see. Still multiple trains of Trick Room left, yeah. Manectric totally could protect here. I kind of want to just Blizzard, honestly. I could survive a Muddy Water from Feeny, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm actually going to Blizzard here, because if my opponent doesn't protect Manectric, then I win the game outright. Even if he does, a Muddy Water shouldn't knock out Incineroar, should activate my Berry, and Feeny will get chipped enough from Blizzard and Hail, where another Energy Ball will knock it out. So I think my opponent here might want to gamble a little bit, and if my opponent does, then I'll just win the game instantly. Even if my opponent plays it safe, I'm still okay with how this turn plays out. Unless Muddy Water actually knocks out Incineroar, but even if it does, I get a free switch into Porygon. And Feeny's the one protecting. Could be Manectric protecting as well, but we'll have to see. If not, that should be game. Nice. I don't think Fake Out Blizzard knocks out Manectric. Actually might. After Hail, we'll see. But this is pretty much ideal for me. Yeah, nice. So, the reason why I did go for that play, like I was saying, is because I think it's so obvious that I'd want to target Manectric and that Manectric would want to protect there. And my opponent might be like, oh, he's just going to go for the target. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm still fake outing Manectric there 100% of the time. So it's curious that Feeney's the one protecting and Manectric isn't. I mean, that was pretty much the best case scenario because now I can just Energy Ball Porygon. Or sorry, Feeney, and that's going to be game. And I'll just switch out into my Porygon so that Incineroar can Superpower. So I'm resetting the attack drop. Yeah, kind of a long drawn-out game, but I felt like I had a pretty good team advantage here to begin with. Getting rid of Porygon's Eviolite early was good. I had a pretty good lead. And basically being able to get Trick Room up a second time was really huge. But a flinch onto Arachnoid really could have changed the course of this game. Because then I would have just lost my Arachnoid. And I would have had to bring out a Bombus. I mean, it still wouldn't have been the end of the world, but maybe I played it a little bit risky, giving my opponent a chance to win if he got a potential flinch. Or not win, but just have momentum. Yeah, so Feeney is going to opt for the double, doesn't get it. I do think you should go for the double because I'm energy balling the Feeney 100% of the time here. It actually does manage to survive, which I gotta say I didn't expect. So Trick Room will go back down, but Feeney can't heal, and it's on a timer. So kind of just delaying the inevitable at this point. I am just going to Blizzard Trick Room this turn. Without Eviolite, Porygon's going to be taking a lot more damage. Even if Feeney Muddy Water accuracy drops a Bomb of Snow, Feeney it'll faint in 2 turns from Hail. So this game is pretty much wrapped up. And the key things were knocking out the Mudsdale and Arachnoid. Sorry, Mudsdale and Manectric because of how much they threatened me. So yeah, I feel like this first game demonstrated the strength of this team pretty well, how good a Bombus on Arachnoid can be. Both of those really essential to winning this game. I don't think Braviary would have provided me too much utility here. Coco could have been decent, but it's always hard bringing Coco in against the team with Mudsdale. So Ice Beam actually does a lot of damage there. I think Porygon did get the special attack increase earlier. But yeah, look how much Blizzard does once you get rid of the Eevee. That's some good damage. Trick Room will go up, and now single target Blizzard should be able to finish up the deal. So we'll get a win here. Trying to think where I could have played better. I don't feel like I played particularly well this game. I just feel like I had a decent matchup, and I played it okay. But yeah, I don't really think I made really good plays here or there. The lead just worked out nicely. My opponent not Z-moving with Feeney earlier on and getting rid of Incineroar was interesting. I don't think I actually needed really Incineroar, but I'm trying to think. Because I remember I was expecting my opponent to Z-move me. I think it was the second turn, but it ended up making some switches, which was interesting. And we are going to find a 1567 rated opponent from Japan. I think my reaction encapsulates this perfectly. Wow, that is quite the team. Tapu Lele, Crocodile, Houndoom, Ribombee, Torkoal, and I was gonna call that Leafeon. What's that called? I'm literally blanking on its name. I know there's Terrakion, Cobalion, and it's so irrelevant that I've literally forgotten its name. I'll call it Leafeon's brother for now. Why am I blanking out on its name? Okay, let's look at this. What the heck? That's the best way to describe how I feel about this. Just what the heck. Kind of want to lead Braviary here. That's kind of reckless, though. It's probably best just to go Incineroar Porygon still. Arachnoid to Bomb Snow. But I really do want to feature Braviary. You know what? What the heck? Let's feature Braviary. I'm going to go Braviary, Porygon, a Bomb Snow, and Arachnoid. It's probably not the best Pokemon choice, but you know what? So be it. Literally, what is the name of that grass Pokemon? The grass fighting one. Like, why do I remember Cobalion more than its name? Virizion! That's what it is. Oh my gosh. I just had Leafeon stuck in my mind for the longest time, and I was just like, what? Alright, Houndoom Torkoal. Maybe Incineroar would have just been better, but you know what? Screw it. I want Braviary. I wonder if Braviary could just one-shot Houndoom here. And I get a social attack increase, which is nice. Because I am Scarfed Braviary, that's why I brought it. I really want to just superpower the Houndoom. Thunderbolt Torkoal. I feel like superpower should knock out. Okay. If Braviary could put in the work and get a knockout here, that would be nuts. Okay. Can we get a knockout? Let's get it, Braviary. Oh, that's so satisfying. Okay, because clearly that's what my opponent was going for. Just get really strong fire type attacks off. Look how much that Thunderbolt does, too. It's going to be a Z move coming out from Torkoal, though. The fire Z move. Presumably targeting Porygon, so this is still far from over. Maybe, I don't know if Trick Room would have really been great there. But if this targets the Braviary for some reason, okay, yeah, it doesn't. If it targets Braviary there, it's like the game is pretty much just over. I didn't even do that much damage, honestly. I mean, now I can just recover. And probably switch as Virizion does come out. Definitely did not say I expected that to make an appearance this game. I mean, now I can just Brave Bird stuff. He's probably going to want a Sacred Sword, Porygon, and Heat Wave. So I think I might just have to sack Porygon here. I'm going to switch out into Arachnid. I don't think I should recover. I should just Thunderbolt Torkoal. If for some reason I survive Sacred Sword, which I could because Virizion is so bad offensively. But Arachnid will come in. Oh, it's going to close combat. The Virizion slot. Okay. Or sorry, the Arachnid slot. I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like you have a pretty free opportunity to just knock out Porygon. I don't know if this is my opponent just giving up after turn 1, because that was just a pretty bad play, honestly. I feel like that just covers for nothing. Maybe I'm being too critical, but it's my opinion. I shall go for a Liquidation now here into Torkoal, and I actually will recover this time around with Porygon. You can only knock out... I don't even know if a Leaf Blade knocks out Arachnid. I probably should have Z-moved just to guarantee the knockout onto Torkoal, but honestly, I feel like this game is already over. Yeah, the cheese with Choice Scarf Braviary was really able to come in, and my opponent's Stone Edges, and I misses too. So just everything going wrong. I mean, I don't mind that hitting at all, because then I just get a free switching into Braviary, and I just click Brave Bird and Thunderbolt. And that's why, you know, Virizion, not exactly the most effective Pokemon. I mean, I do think you should Stone Edge there. Yeah, Leaf Blade probably doesn't knock me out, because I'm quite bulky. So this game probably going to be over very quickly. Crocodile comes out, gets an Intimidate off, but perhaps a little bit too late. And now I should probably Trick Room, but this game is over. Abomasnow, and actually I'll just stay in. Why risk it? Z-move and Trick Room. Now there is a beat-up combination here possible between the Crocodile and the Virizion, which is kind of cool. Alright, now I just feel bad. Honestly, it missing would have helped me more than it would have. It just would have ended this game sooner. Okay, so I said originally I played 3 games, but in the middle one, my opponent disconnected on me. And I was gonna include it because it was kind of interesting for like 2 or 3 turns, but I think now because this game was so short, I'm gonna edit that out, and then I'm just gonna play a 3rd game after this one. It was definitely kind of an unfortunate game, missing 2 Stone Edges, but like I said, if my opponent hits that Stone Edge, just bringing a Abomasnow and Blizzard just knocks out both Pokemon. So I would have actually preferred for that to hit. Just Bug Bite and Foul Play. Yeah, I want this game to end sooner so I can just play a 3rd game. But my opponent will forfeit. So we'll get a win on this one. I mean, my opponent's team was kind of cheesy, obviously. Like, you go for some combination of a lot of offense turn 1. I mean, Houndoom in the Sun does a lot of damage, and if Braviary isn't Scarfed there, I'm probably completely screwed. But that is why I led Braviary, although I think Incineroar Porygon would have been worked out decently well. I mean, but then I would have like, oh, I want to fake out Trick Room, but then Torkoal can actually put in work. So Braviary actually ended up being the best Pokemon probably to lead with against what my opponent brought. So we take those. We're going to find Adolf from Mexico with a rating of 1598. That's a really interesting team. It's like a Rain Trick Room hybrid with the Guzzlord. That's kind of neat. First thoughts. Araquanid, really good. Don't think I want Braviary here. Something like Abomasnow Koko could actually be interesting. Porygon actually suffers a fair amount against... I mean, I still probably want to set up Trick Room here. Araquanid puts in work. I do like the Abomasnow Koko lead here, though, honestly. Gets rid of the weather. I put on pressure with everything with Koko. Question is... Maybe I want to bring Incineroar specifically for Mawile, but the more I think about it, I think I'll just go Porygon Araquanid. Mawile can't touch Araquanid very well. So basically, yeah, normally, like, I feel like I lead something like Incineroar plus Porygon, but I feel like Abomasnow Koko specifically against this matchup is pretty good. For example, if my opponent leads Rain, then not only will I have full weather control, I can just immediately spam Blizzard and Thunderbolt. If my opponent leads anything else but Rain, then Koko puts on pressure with the Z move against Mawile and against the Oranguru. Yeah. Like, it's still tempting to bring Incineroar because it matches phenomenally up against the Oranguru and the Mawile, and I guess I'm actually kind of concerned about those, but Araquanid functions well against both of those too. And deals a little bit better against the rest of my opponent's Pokemon. So, going to be Abomasnow and Tapu Koko coming out. And yeah, it's Rain. Oh, that's nice. That's super nice. God, I hate shiny Pelipper. So here I'll have full weather control, which is already a good start. Now, presumably, you're going to want to switch out Pelipper and maybe fake out into Koko. It's what I think would be the best course of action. This is a really good lead, so hopefully I don't squander this. Unless my opponent just stays in with Pelipper. I'm just going to go for the Blizzard here. And I will go threaten the Ludi with a Z move, just because I don't want to get Z moved in Koko in return. So I'm basically forcing my opponent to fake out Koko. Most Ludi Colos don't carry Protect. So if Ludi tries to get fancy and goes for a Z move onto Koko, I'll just knock it out. We'll see what Pelipper goes for. One thing I actually should have noted, Pelipper does get Wide Guard, so that's one thing I have to be careful about. But this is the lead I was hoping to see here, because I shut down the weather immediately. Pelipper is going to swap out, as anticipated, into Oranguru, so that's fine. Nothing on my opponent's team can take the combination of Electric and Ice very well. I contemplated not Mega Evolving because I knew Pelipper's wanted to swap out and probably is going to want to switch back in, but I wanted to do more damage with Blizzard right from the get-go. So Ludi is going to go for the Fake Out into Koko, but that's fine, because now I get a free Blizzard off. And that does so much damage. Yeah, nice. So this next turn is going to be interesting. Because obviously I can just threaten Ludi with the electric type attack here. I think I probably still want a Blizzard. Contemplating Volt Switching. What do I do here if I'm my opponent? I kind of just want to Thunderbolt Ludi, honestly. And Energy Ball Oranguru. Just the Mawile in the back I'm worried about. But I think this is pretty safe. Yeah. And if my opponent didn't bring Mawile in the back, and Oranguru swapping out into Pelipper. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Yeah, that's fine with me. Let's see. Oh, Ludi actually does have Protect. I gotta say, I was not expecting that. That makes this a little bit more interesting. That's kind of cool. Energy Ball does so much damage there, though. I mean, I'm just gonna Protect Koko and switch out into Porygon, and then switch back out into Abomasnow. Yeah. It's not every day you see Fake Out and Protect on Ludi. Normally you want one or the other because you want definitely a water type attack and normally Ice Beam and Giga Drain or Energy Ball. So I'm curious which one my opponent dropped for Ludi there. But either way, I mean, I haven't taken any damage really. I've gotten so much damage off against everything. And the next time I get a Bombastone in, I'll be in a phenomenal position. But that was definitely cool. Gotta say I was not anticipating that. So gives my opponent definitely more of a room for opportunity. But yeah, I'm gonna swap out here, go into Porygon. Thunderbolt actually does so much work against my opponent's entire team as well, which is nice. Gonna Protect. Probably gonna swap Coco out into a Abomasnow next turn and just go for a Thunderbolt. And there's a Z move, so no surprise there. Maybe it goes into a Porygon slot, but that's whatever. I feel like the lead really just helped me out immensely, and my opponent didn't really have too much counterplay. Probably wasn't expecting Abomasnow Coco as a lead. So I can't stress how important sometimes lead matchups can be. And there's just a Hurricane. Yep, nothing too surprising there. It does get a Confusion though, which makes this a little bit more interesting. I shall now just Thunderbolt the Pelipper, make sure the weather can't get reset, and go into Abomasnow. So as long as I don't get confused here. Yeah, you know, I've still got Coco, which just threatens my opponent's entire team with Z moves and Thunderbolts. So yeah, I feel good about this. I've still got a Arachnid waiting in the back, which deals with Ludi and a Oranguru really well, actually. Both hits are super effective, actually. And if my opponent has Mawile on the back, also that. So let's see. Looks like he's staying in with both. No, actually, Pelipper swapping out. Good switch. Into Oranguru. But it's a free Thunderbolt off against it, so I'll take that. He is just going to Giga Drain. Yep, that's fine. The more important thing is I burn my opponent's Z move at this point. Hopefully I don't get confused here, though. I need them. I don't need it, but it would have been nice, because then that probably puts Oranguru in KO range. But that means we know Ludi can't touch a Bombastone, doesn't have Ice Beam. So I'm just going to Blizzard and Trick Room here. Actually, I want to recover here, yeah. No. Actually, yeah, I'm fine here. I'm just going to recover Blizzard. Even if Pelipper switches back in, it's okay. This game is just getting drawn out because the Pelipper switching back in and out, but I feel like it's still very difficult for me to actually lose this one. So you guys are kind of in for a ride, but now we're basically playing the don't choke this game kind of deal. I'm thinking maybe Energy Balling there is just more efficient, but the thing with Blizzard is it covers a bunch of options. Yeah, Ludi's going to want to switch out here, so it's probably going out into... Oh, Mawile's actually the last one. Okay. So we do see all of my opponent's Pokemon at this point. So I'll be getting another free Blizzard off. That's why I wanted the Thunderbolt off with Porygon last turn, because that probably puts a Oranguru in KO range. So opting not to Trick Room though, just going to go for a Psychic into a Abomasnow. Actually does a fair amount. I do snap at a Confusion, which is nice. Able to heal back up. And I'll be able to get a strong Blizzard off here, which is good. Yeah. That does a lot against Mawile. And I freeze it, which is unfortunate. That's the other nice thing about spamming Blizzard. The odds are in your favor there. Yeah, so kind of feel bad about that, but did get the Confusion, I guess, earlier. I'm just going to... I should play it safe here. Safest place is just Trick Room and Protect. Because then I can just keep spamming Blizzard and Thunderbolts. So Mawile's going to Mega Evolve. But at this point, Arachnid should be able to deal with things. Like, I don't want to... Even though Mawile's frozen, like, if it thaws out and Iron Heads me, that could be kind of ugly. So I'm just going to play it safe here, because I know Arachnid can seal up this game under Trick Room at this point anyway. He went for an Instruct. I don't know if my opponent knows how that works. Because that's not how it works. And I get Trick Room up. Which means Abomasnow now should be the fastest thing. So maybe we see a switch out into Pelipper. But I think I'll still risk it here with Blizzard, honestly. Because even if I miss the Blizzard, like, there's not really too much that can go wrong. You know, even if Mawile thaws out. Like, the freeze was unfortunate, but I feel like I was still in a really good position to begin with anyway, and Mawile was probably targeting a Bombasnow in that position, unless you're going for an Iron Head flinch. Yeah. Now, if Mawile were faster than a Oranguru, maybe things would be different, because you can go for an Iron Head, Instruct Iron Head. Mawile actually... looks like it was trying to go for a Sucker Punch or Protect there, because a Bombasnow should outspeed under Trick Room. The fact that it stays frozen seals up the game. I could have played a little bit better, probably, because I had a really good lead, and then I let my opponent switch out a little bit too much. So that's one thing I could have done better, because, you know, I knew Mawile was a pretty major threat waiting in the back. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not entirely happy about how I played that, because I feel like I was in a really commanding position until a point where I should just have been making 100% save plays and winning the game solely off that. But especially because I just had such a good lead matchup too. But I guess if I don't get confused there, my life is also easier because then Blizzard just KOs. But no. Either way, it's going to be Pelipper and Ludi coming back in, and Aisha just Thunderbolt the Pelipper and Giga Drain. Yeah, I mean, Trick Room plus Hail is such a good matchup against the Rain. But my opponent did have a Oranguru Mawile, which made things more interesting. But once again, I really do think Arachne could have dealt with that was pretty fine, because Play Rough, Iron Head don't really do too much. I guess Play Rough does a fair amount against Arachnid, but should be able to underspeed and just Z Liquidation or Liquidation to win. Either way, that is going to be it for this episode. Some fun and interesting games, honestly. I feel like I didn't play incredibly well overall, but just had some pretty good matchups across the board, which definitely contributed to winning. But thank you to Ben for building this team. I'm glad to have tried it out. Glad to have used Arachnoid in VGC 2018 as well as Porygon. That's always fun. It was really nice to get some work in with Braviary in that second game as well. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Go check out Ben if you don't know him already. Go check out the QR code team linked in the description below. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace.